Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Giles, and today we're going to be talking PCs. Not big ones, little ones. And in particular, we're going to look at the Corebox from Chuwi. Now, you might not be familiar with the brand, but that's what this video is all about. We're going to take a look at this and see exactly what this computer, and this thing is a whole PC, it's just small, squish it down, what this thing can do. Now, we're going to open them up, take a look at the box, see what it comes with, but then we'll actually open up the PC and look at the guts. We'll see if it's upgradable or not. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you my thoughts about it, and then also some use cases that'll be very interesting. Now, make sure to stick around to the end, because that's the interesting part. At least I think it's going to be the most interesting part. I'll talk a little bit about how I'm going to integrate this with my home theater and my music system using some server software, which is pretty rocking. Haha, see what I did there. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and let's see what's inside of this box and what this little guy looks like. So the box is pretty innocuous. On the front side, you've got Chuwi, maybe it's Chuwi, I'm not really sure on the pronunciation, but it's powerful yet small on the side. Flipping it over to the edge, we can see some specifications of what the box has and does not have. So this is a Core i5-8259U. However, the GPU, which is the Intel Iris Plus graphics 655, is not checkmarked. Wi-Fi is your standard 802.11ac with all of the legacies on there. And then from a size point of view, it looks like this is about 7 by 5 by 3-ish inches. Now over here, you know, the SKU, I guess, maybe kind of thing is Corebox 256G and then a bunch of numbers. So maybe that means that it's got a 256 gig SSD in there. On the back, pretty blank, and that's pretty much all there is to the box. It's covered in plastic, shrink wrapped, and it has another barcode here on the other side. Inside, looks like we have a little literature box here. Product inspection report. Conformity, our certification of conformity, some warnings, a user manual, looks pretty thick, and a warranty card. All right, let's take away some of this packing material. Seems pretty nice. Now, everything in here is really a tight fit. It was pretty tough to get the top off. I'm glad they give little thumb pulls. All right, so this feels like a power supply and other cabling. Let's see what we've got. A lot of stuff in here. Oh, a lot of stuff. All right, we have 4 screws. We have power cord. We have a power brick. That's nice. Looks good. And we have a SATA adapter for a hard drive. So maybe we can add an external to this guy. That's pretty interesting. And now we are to the main event. So let's see, nothing else in there. Nice plastic covering. I must say that the packaging on this is very nice. And wow, this is super tiny. I knew it was small, but this is even smaller than I anticipated. Okay, it's basic plastic cover, Core i5 inside. This is plastic. That's metal of some kind. Plastic here, power button on the front. On the bottom, we have cutouts, and it looks like these are fan cutouts, but I think there is one fan in there, but nothing here. This is listed as a Corebox 256. Some vents on the side and as well on the other side. You also have nice rubber feet here for the bottom. Now, if we look on the rear, we can see the connectivity, and we've got what looks to be audio in and out, power, 4 USB-As, DisplayPort, HDMI, and Ethernet. Everything looks like it's lined up okay, so it looks like that's a good, nice, tight fit. All right, let's move on to opening this guy up, and let's see what the guts look like. Okay, I'm not sure how the system board is mounted inside, so I'm just going to take the top off. Now, these look like they're hex screws of some kind. I don't really have one that small, but I think this star bit will do me well enough. See, this should just lift off, and it does. So on the top, this looks like it might be the base, and there are some little tiny T90 screws holding these trim plates on. So let's go ahead and flip this over to the bottom and see what kind of magic we have down here. Taking a look inside, we have an exhaust fan, which looks like it is cooling the CPU, and I can see some heat pipes coming off of the CPU cooler. There is what looks to be NVMe memory, storage rather, here. There are some headers on the system board. So what I'm interested about is this guy. So it looks like these headers match up here to add in additional storage. Although I'm not sure how you would mount an additional piece of storage inside of the unit. It's pretty tight, and I don't want to take it completely apart. I also don't see how I would upgrade memory. So the memory must be on the board for the unit itself. So that's what I'm seeing. And the CPU is likely not upgradable either, I would guess. And to get down to that storage, that would be quite a journey as well. But everything looks nice and tidy inside. So no complaints there at all. Yeah, it's nice and solid. All right, let's put this guy back together, and I'm going to fire this guy up. So before we assemble everything again, I did figure something out here. So if you look on the bottom of the panel, and I didn't see this when I took it off, but we have an SSD mounting point. So you would be able to connect in here and then cable down to your system board and add in an external drive to supplement the M2 NVMe that's already there. So that's pretty neat. I mean, I'm kind of digging this little PC. That's pretty cool. Now that you've seen what's inside of the Chuwi Corebox, let's talk a little bit about what I think of the unit. And let's start on the outside. You know, the looks are fine. It's small. It's maybe a little bit taller than I would like it to be, but I think that's due to the fan that's mounted on the inside. And aesthetically, it's kind of got like a old Mac tower look from years ago, which is kind of interesting. The handles are just decorative, but the metal on top is a nice finish. So you know, it's not exactly what I would call a premium look, but this is a very economical unit, and I think it looks about as good as it could. From a performance point of view and an upgradability point of view, it works fine as a productivity worker computer, meaning if you're going to web browse, you're going to use Office, it's great. If you're going to try and edit video, play games, maybe not so much. Remember, the GPU is just what's on the CPU, and that will limit your capabilities. 16 gigs of RAM, 256 on the NVMe, and the extra slot for an expansion for SSD is nice. So storage can be expanded. Pretty much everything is what it is. One thing that I plan to use it for, which I think is kind of a cool use case, is to use it as a server for an application. So I'm going to install something called a Rune, which is a music server on here. So if you want to see that, make sure to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when that one drops. That'll be pretty cool. Those are the things I like, and I think it's great because, you know, small form factor, good cost, does what it's supposed to do. Windows 10 Home, eligible for Windows 11. What I did not like, though, is the fan noise. This little guy in here can get loud. It seemed like it lit up pretty heavy while I was updating. After that, it seemed to settle down a bit. But if you need a silent machine, this is not the one for you. But if a little bit of sound is okay, then this might be the right one. So give it a look. Chuwi Corebox. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.